Okay, everyone. Haven't done one of these for a while. Select Generation Podcast, season one, episode. Not sure. Today I'm with Omar El Sayed. Is that how you say your last name?
Yeah, it's pretty hard to pronounce, but yeah, you got it.
Omar El Sayed. So Omar lives in Texas, near Houston. He came with us this summer to Unionistas in Spain. Um, Top player, likes to think he's a fullback, but he's probably more of a winger. So just gonna sort of talk about you and Mar today and yeah, just get to know you a bit better. So yeah, I gave you a little bit of an intro, but tell us a bit about yourself, growing up, where you're from, the levels you've played at. So just give us a quick intro.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, like I said, my name is Omar, 19 years old right now. Born and raised in Sacramento, California. Moved to Texas recently, a couple years ago. Played in Cali a bit, and right now I'm playing in community college in Houston for Lone Star, Cy-Fair campus. Like Coach said, I'm supposed to be a right back, but apparently I'm better in different positions. So yeah, and originally I'm from Egypt.
Nice. Good. Good. So Omar, you said you grew up in I didn't know you grew up in Sacramento. I live in Napa, so I live like 45 minutes from Sacramento.
Mhm.
But tell us a bit about like you growing up playing soccer. Like, was there, a club you played for? Was there, like a coach that really motivated you moving from, Sacramento to Texas? How was that? Like, tell us kind of about your first, like, I don't know, 10, 12, 15 years kind of playing youth soccer in America, how you developed and kind of how all the changes went.
Honestly, I first started in, Sacramento. I was playing with a team called FC Elk Grove. Not sure. Yeah, it was pretty good at the time. Um, I couldn't really play with them a season because as soon as I made the team, I would always travel to Egypt in the summer. And so, unfortunately, when I made the team, I wasn't even there for a single game. So I ended up not being able to play. Football in Sacramento in California was mainly for like mosques for my religious mosques, right? I was just playing for a team over there and so on. It wasn't really for like a club or a school. I was in private school most of the time. When I moved to Texas in 2015, um, that's when I really dove into it mainly. I started off at Memorial Indoor Soccer Academy. That's where I got all my basics, the my touch, my passing, all the technicalities down. And then I started playing again with my local mosque team and all that. Um, just recently, I guess during COVID, I joined the Houston Dynamos. Play with them, I'd say a year or two. And when I play with them, I was playing with them and Sunday League. And I feel like what really got me to have that professional mindset was the Sunday League because I had a coach who would take me to the side and like you teach me something different than you teach other people because he saw something in me. And so he would put me in different positions that I've never been in before, a striker, a cam, a center mid, a center back, sometimes a full back. And which is kind of why in my experience with Select Generation, I was able to play multiple positions and I felt pretty comfortable in those positions, except for right back.
Yeah.
But we don't get into that. But yeah, I mean Sunday League, and right now I'm playing college.
Yeah, it's interesting you say like Sunday League gave you um,
Yeah.
the professional. Like, tell us about that. Like, how did Sunday League make you a better player?
Well, the thing is, I was at the time I wasn't even of age to play in the league, so I had to go under my brother's name just so I can play, and so that by itself gave me that like, oh, I'm good enough despite my age, right? And it was a team of locals, so I knew everybody there. And the coach, he like, he loved the way I play. But the reason why I say Sunday League instead of others is because it's more of a like it's mixed ages, right? Club, you're playing people your age. You're playing people your age. School, it's different. But Sunday League, you're playing from 18 to however. So it kind of really shows you the lifestyle of a professional team because it's not only a specific age, it's a mix of ages from 16 to however. And so me playing against people that were double my age, or that were my age, or that were a bit older than me, people that, have children, for example, and you're doing better than them, right? And these people, they give you advice. These people that they push you, or they sometimes they belittle you. It just makes you work harder, right? And as someone I have a late birthday, so everyone in my class is always older than me. So as someone who he's always been the small guy in each team, it doesn't really affect me. It used to affect me, but now it just makes me push harder.
Yeah.
So playing against older people helps me.
Um, yeah, it's interesting you say that. I think like for me, I played when I was back in England playing like when you're 16, 17 years old playing against guys that are like 25, 28, 30. It definitely matures you. It's a different style of football. Like obviously youth football is about like, okay, we're going to play out, we're going to play pretty, we're going to play nice. And then Sunday League is like, guys, we have to win. It's going to be ugly. We're going to tackle, we're going to press, we're going to
Hmm.
shift,
Hmm.
maybe long ball. How would you describe like I assume the best club you played for was the Houston Dynamos, right?
Yeah,
So how would you
yeah.
describe playing for the Houston Dynamos in the academy versus playing Sunday League with men in terms of the level?
Um, it's really it's on. I'd say it's different. In the end, it is different, but in the sense of technicality, right? The Houston Dynamos, obviously, they were really good at the time. But the I was in the PA. I wasn't even in the academy. I was in the pre-academy. And the thing with Sunday League and the Houston Dynamos is that there are more developed players in the Sunday League than there are in the Houston Dynamos. Because in the end, like I said, it's our age. And so when you look at people our age and think about it, right? We're all 16 to 18 years old at that time. I believe 17, if we're trying to reach a real number, 17 or 16. So 16, there's players that know what they're doing, there's players that don't know what they're doing. And I, for one, I was one of the players that did not know what they were doing at the time. Right? 'Cause I just joined it, and at that time, like it was really big for me, and that was when I really started like learning and understanding on and off the ball, how to move and so on. But when you go into the Sunday League, these are people that have been playing together. And one thing is that clubs, a lot of people don't stay. Every they stay maybe 2 years and then they go somewhere better. Sunday League, these people have nothing to do on Sundays. So so they're all friends, they're family friends, they're all together. They already have that chemistry. So most of the games I've played in Sunday League, we'd get trashed. Honestly, we'd get trashed. You're talking about people that Man City against what, like a regular, you know, regular group of friends. But Dynamo, I feel like it was more even.
Got it.
If
Okay.
if that answers the question.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense, man. That makes sense. Yeah, Sunday League. I love Sunday League. Um, okay, so what about you as a player, Omar? Obviously, you played in California, you played in Texas, you've played academy, you've played Sunday League. What do you think has developed you most being a footballer? What team or what experience or what opportunity or what level do you think has made you develop the most, or what have you learned the most being in a certain situation?
Honestly, for me, for me personally, I wouldn't say my Lone Star because that was just recently. If we're looking at somewhere in the beginning of my career, I'd have to say Dynamo for me because I joined Dynamo not knowing a lot, right? So I used what I got from Dynamo to go ahead and I implemented that one into the Sunday League games. And on top of Sunday League games, so I had multiple training sessions. I'd have with Dynamo 2 or 3 times a week, and I'd have 1 or 2 times a week with the Sunday League. So I'd use from this team to that team, from that team to this team. So as a player who started off young, I'd say the Houston Dynamos for sure.
Okay, and then there's a lot of people that are going to listen to this and be like, Sunday League, what's he talking about? Like, I want to play college, I want to play Division One, I want to play pro. Like, why am I listening? Or why is this guy talking about Sunday League? What advice do you
Yeah.
have to give to those guys?
Honestly, if you're not in college, you play Sunday League, right? If you're still in high school, go for Sunday League, right? It'll show you different, like I said, different skill levels completely. Then again, depends on the level you're playing at. But still, if you are in high school, go for Sunday League. Now that I'm in college, I'm playing college, right? And I'm doing both actually. I'm playing college and in Sunday League still. I play in this league called Volt League. I don't know if you guys know about it, but if you search on Instagram, it's known. Um, for those people that are in high school that don't know what to play, the least you can do is Sunday League, right? It'll get you playing against people that of all ages. It'll get you in that. For me personally, it gets me in that mindset of age doesn't matter. There could be like a man like pushing 40 and he's absolutely insane, right? So for those people that are like, oh no, but Sunday, it's not just Sunday League. It depends on what level you're playing at, and I'm telling you right now, you'll be surprised by the level.
Yeah.
So
I,
me
I def
personally,
yeah, I definitely agree with that. I mean, I've personally played in Sunday League tournaments like,
mhm.
over holidays like Thanksgiving tournaments or summer tournaments, and like the level there, you'll see ex-pros, you'll see current pros like on holiday from South America that come to,
Yeah, yeah.
just compete in the tournaments and get some cash, and they're like a joke, like they're unreal. So I think obviously there's different levels to it. It's like saying, yeah, I want to be a college soccer player, and you're playing either, at Wake Forest, Clemson, UCLA, Stanford, or you're playing at, a bottom tier NAIA junior college school. Sunday League is the same in terms of the levels. Like you have the
Mhm.
top teams that are competing for massive cash prizes that are with current pros and ex-pros, even in the USL. Um, so yeah, I totally agree with that. Good, Omar. So want to talk to you about Spain. Obviously, you came to Unionistas for the winter camp. I think you're one
Yeah.
of the standout players. You played pretty well. So just overall, tell us a little bit about that experience. How was it?
Well, me personally, I enjoyed it. I came over, it was really a, a turn of events for me because I went there without any highlights. I went there based off of, a referral. So going there, they had, I mean, I had a lot on my plate. I had to make sure that, like, think about it. You're bringing someone over that you don't know anything about. You're bringing someone over that you've never seen. We've played Victor and Coach Sam. You guys haven't seen me play before I came there. So when I went there, I was kind of nervous. But the level, I'm telling you right now, the level just in 2 weeks, the level in Europe and the US is nothing. It's nothing similar. It's nothing. It's not the same at all. I feel like in the 2 weeks I've been there, I've improved like crazy, right? From things that are like from small things like defend the space, not the player, to off the pitch completely, right? Things like my Spanish got better, for example. So I really think that it was a fun trip. I wish it was longer. And if I had an opportunity to go back again, I honestly probably would
So
for sure.
tell us about, you said like tactical things like defending the space, not the player.
Mhm.
How do you think in terms of this your soccer level personally, individually, what do you think you improved on just in the space of 2 weeks?
So me, I feel like I got better technically, right? If you look at like technically, I feel like I've improved on that one. I've always struggled with the whole movement off the ball. So when the first day we went there, we had analysis. And the first thing that came to me was defend the player, not the space. I mean, defend the space, not the player, right? And just that, like you can tell that this is organized just by looking. The fact that you have analysis is enough for me. But one thing, like as a player myself, that improved me mentally. So it's not just where we have. For me, it's not just training. It's not. We're not just going to training. We're not just having the games and so on. I'm actually improving, like in terms of passing. My passing got better. I feel like my touch has improved. I'm more composed. I used to always just rush. Okay, you gotta know what you can do with the ball before it even comes to you, right? Sometimes if you don't know what you can do with the ball, you end up getting a bad touch or loss of possession. So I feel like in terms of how it improved me is I'm more composed with the ball now. So when the ball comes to me, I'm relaxed. Okay, what am I gonna do with the ball? I'm not in a rush. I know what I'm doing.
Okay. And then why do you think you got better at that? Like how would you describe the coaching, what you've received in the US versus the coaching that you got the 2 weeks in Spain? How is the Spanish coaching style?
The Spanish coach style is different because they have someone for every position. they have a coach for every criteria. In the US, it's mainly like one coach, assistant coach, and that's it. Right. That I noticed. I witnessed a physical therapist. Like, yeah, you don't see that a lot in the States, right? I mean, unless you're in like a higher level. But for those of us that are like in high school, you only have a trainer who doesn't even know what they're doing most of the time. And I really like the whole you have a goalkeeper training, you have you have the personal training, and you have like for stretching, activation, and all that. That was the first time I ever experienced activation. If we're being honest, that's the first time I've ever seen a
Are you
coach.
using it now before training? Are you activating?
Yeah, yeah. Now I start doing like some stretches here and there. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, even though I only play scrimmages now, like pickup games, because the season hasn't started yet. But yeah, like you'll find myself in the corner of the field just doing some stretches. Everyone's like, "What are you doing?" "Oh, I'm doing yoga." I'm doing yoga. No, but honestly, that was honestly the first time I ever experienced activation. I didn't know. I was like, "What's activation? What are we activating?"
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
then
yeah.
after doing it, it's something else,
No,
honestly.
I totally agree with you that. And then in terms of the sessions, like were they more intense? Were they more specific to like, because in the US, I usually feel like, the game is tailored, the training session is tailored towards winning this game or how we're going to play against this team. But when I'm in Europe, when I'm at home or when I'm in Spain, I'm always thinking, okay, this session is about how we're going to build or how we're going to get the ball wide to cross it or how we're going to finish today. So the type of the training session, how do you think it was different from Spain to the US?
I'll tell you one thing. The like yeah, like just it's exactly how you said it. That the US kind of practices on upcoming games. So let's say we have a game coming up and we're so bad at crossing. Our training is gonna be based on crossing, right? Now, I'd say the US, or from what I've seen at least, it's mainly like let's say we don't know how to we haven't scored too many goals, then this training is about finishing. It's good and all, but what's like what we did in Spain during the 2 weeks was we took something called progress, where it's where we the ball is moved, it keeps on moving side to side. The idea here is the fullbacks are pushing up this time, so it's not just staying there. So now the center mid would drop back as like a third center back, and then it causes the right back or the left back to push up. So now it's causing us to attack more, right? You don't like. I feel like things like that, just that small, not small, but like simple yet effective drill is needed because in games now. You saw one of the games we had after using that. The center was always coming, and we'd have more chances to move up now than before. Because all of us going into the camp, we're so used to the way the U.S. plays. Just you're stuck, just reset, and that's it. Not really try and dribble him, like progress, go for it. In
Yeah.
the U.S., everyone's scared to dribble for some reason.
And then just some advice for players who are potentially, let's say a player's got invited to go to Spain or to England or to France or to Germany, and they're, going from the US system to the European system. What advice would you give a player in terms of, on the field to get ready for the soccer aspect? What advice would you give that player?
One thing for sure is be yourself. Like don't change your playing style for anyone. A lot of people, there's a really good dribbler, and then all of a sudden, now he doesn't want to dribble in fear of him messing up. But I feel like you need to show your skills. You need to show your skills. You need to show them what you're about. You're going somewhere where they've never seen you before. You're going overseas. You're going to a whole new different, place, right? A whole new different level. So if you just get the ball and just pass it and you reset, you're not really taking any risks, if you know what I'm trying to say. Like if I was a coach, I'd hope to see you dribble this person in front of you and humiliate him in some way, right? So if you're scared to do that, then you're only holding yourself back. So if anyone here is like, one, if you have the opportunity, take the opportunity.
Yeah.
If you're in the US, opportunity anywhere, take the opportunity. That's for sure. But don't just take it for the sake of taking it. Take it with the intention of, you know what, I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna do my thing. I'm gonna play the way I play. You do that, you will be fine
Good.
because you have the coach's guidance and all that as well.
I think that's some good advice. Good, Omar. Usually end the podcast with a little fun fact. You got a fun fact about yourself that not a lot of people know?
Fun fact.
Party?
I'd say a fun fact. Nah, I don't party. I'd say a fun fact is I have a twin brother.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
Really?
I do.
Does
Yeah,
he
I
play
do.
soccer?
He does not. He does
Oh,
not. He's the complete opposite of me. We're actually like we used to be identical, and then he just outgrew me. So, but no, yeah, a lot of people they see us, they get mixed up by us. So maybe one day you guys see him on the pitch instead of me.
yeah, right. Good to know, man. Anyway,
But
Omar,
yeah,
appreciate your time, mate. Thanks for chatting, and
yeah.
we'll be in touch soon.
All right, thanks for having
Yeah,
me.
bye bye.